Greetings, gamers, non-gamers alike. It is I, the Midweek Guy from the Midweek Morning Show. I'm bringing you here today, or I have hopefully got your attention today, to talk about the FiFine K658D, whatever this USB microphone's fucking called. It is a dynamic vocal microphone. It is USB. It's $120. You can get it for $100 if you have a coupon. I got mine off Amazon. The coupon was automatically applied, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to go into the specifics of it. There's a lot of reviewers. I specifically, since I have two Shure MV7s because we use them for the podcast, and I bought this for my car ride radio. If you want to listen to that, it's a podcast. It's called Casually Ignored. It's just my stream of consciousness while driving, basically. So nothing too cool, but it's usually fun to test out stuff. Before I was using the Revelator back there, the one that looks like a giant cone. And it sucks. So I just kind of tired of it, and I bought this. I was hoping it would actually arrive late so I'd get it for free, but it didn't happen. That being said, I'm actually pretty surprised. It has the mute functions right here. Unmute it, perfectly fine. It's got the RGB lights. You can turn them off, turn them on. That's about it. I haven't read through any of the manual. It's very plug and play. I use it with my phone. I do a lot of my recordings for the Casually Ignored just straight into my phone or straight into Anchor. Reads it fine. But I was curious to see how it would sound paired to the MV7. I tried to make it a short video, so it'd be a shorts and be on there, so it'd be 30 seconds. But apparently that just is impossible. So I'll just make this a lengthier video. We'll do some comparisons. And, my gain level is about a third of the dial. For where I'm at, I could probably go just slightly louder, but that's kind of where I like talking at, where I'm at. When I switch over to the Shure MV7, it's going to be on a flat EQ. The gain is 36 decibels in the Shure Motive app, and both the sliders and OBS are turned all the way up. So let's switch over to there real quick. And here we are. We're on the Shure MV7, about the same distance. I haven't really moved anywhere around, and you can hear the difference. Now, the Shure, I think, is a little bit quieter overall, so I have to usually I have to boost a lot more in my streams. I have to boost it up a lot to make it where I want it to be, because typically it's usually super quiet, which is fine, because for recording the podcast, I don't mind it being kind of quiet, and then I just boost it in post. But the FiFine it is fairly loud right off the get-go, and I do like it. Now, there are definitely some differences in sound quality, and it's also like $150 price point difference. So I usually have to boost it a little bit more, or I have to get really close to it. So this is about where I would normally keep it. This is kind of my vocal patterns that I'm at. I'm a kind of a loud talker. So this is what the Shure sounds like, the Shure MV7. We're going to go right back to the FiFine. We're back on the FiFine. Who would have guessed it? This is the only two mics we're reviewing. I think what I'm curious about is I really want to hear the sound difference between a $100, $120 USB only vocal dynamic broadcast thing that is inspired by the Shure SM7B. MV7 is like the little baby brother of it, even though it doesn't sound like it at all. And just kind of comparing the sounds and why you would buy this over the MV7. Granted, the MV7 is $250. It actually just went down in a price, so it's $219, so it's $220. When we got the last one for the other person for the podcast, we had him buy it at $250, and then literally the next day it went down. So that's just how it goes sometimes. But this is a pretty good deal, I think. Now, again, would you want to use this for everything? No. I don't know if I would even do this for vocal covers or voiceovers or not, but I would definitely use it to stream. Definitely use it for a podcast. Actually, I'm surprised that I was even able to use both of these on my computer with a USB and then having them both go into OBS, which is crazy. I didn't think you'd be able to do that. Back on the Shure MV7, and the pros and cons of both are the pros is this is super cheap and it sounds pretty fucking good for the FiFine. And it looks good. I have no idea about the build quality, how long you're going to use it or how long it's going to last, because and I think mine's going to be a different type of case because I'm definitely going to be moving mine around a lot. I mean, I bring it in my car wherever I go because I record it. Every time I go on a drive, I record the car ride radio. So that is why I bought it. I got it because it had a shock mount that, might help. The fact that it's in a car, the Revelator just bounced a lot and had a lot of noise. And this just is a cleaner sound. I like it. This one is a little bit 100 times better than the Revelator. So if you were going to choose a USB microphone, and you were going to choose if it's like maybe a condenser like the PreSonus Revelator or the FiFine, choose the FiFine. I also like this touch to mute. It's very quiet. Not a lot of noise in the body. There's not a click. I hate the click. The MV7 also has a mute button that's a switch, but I have mine kind of turned around from the podcast, so it's hard to get to, so I'm not going to even play with that functionality here. But, yeah, so that's it. And, this is the distance that I'm usually at. If we get really close up to it, this is what it sounds like when you're really close to the microphone, talking into it, maybe reading an audiobook. Let me read you an excerpt from Quantum Sorcery by some guy. Let's go up here. It's to what is the reason? The origin of this project arose from the simple question that I could not answer. What is the mechanism by which will can cause physical changes in the observable universe to be manifest? How does magic work? My belief is that the force derives from humanity itself. All right? That was that. It's a little much, but that's fine. And now we're really close to the MV7, and I'm trying to keep the same level. See, it didn't mute it though. So now you got to double. So, I guess you got to touch it really well. Now we're close to the MV7, and we're talking to it on here. That's the price you pay for doing everything in one take. And the plosives, we could do plosive rejection if we really want to, but for the most part, it's not the greatest. But yeah, we'll do that here in a second. And we do the one more close reading of the MV7. Where's my quantum sorcery? Where'd it go? There it is. Myriad religions and magical systems with vastly differing methods are seemingly capable of achieving these results. Whether the process is referred to as prayer or spellcraft, this would seem to indicate that it is not a particular external force which creates these results. It would be the force universally available to all who seek to employ it, rather than being an insular deity. Yeah, so I just like quantum sorcery. It's very interesting. Do your own research if you really want to care about that stuff. But we're gonna keep it on here. We'll do the plosives. Please bring pizza pronto. Please bring pizza pronto. Thanks podcast age. But once you're kind of farther back and you're kind of talking off of it, which is like, again, my distance, the P's don't happen. It's really only if you're really close to it and you're talking into here that please bring pizza pronto. Please bring pizza pronto. It's really going to do the thing to it. Shure MV7. Please bring pizza pronto. Please bring pizza pronto. Please bring pizza. Pretty please bring the fucking pizza. And then we're back here. Please bring pizza pronto. Doesn't fucking happen. So yeah, if you're closer up to it, it's going to affect that stuff. But yeah, that's what it sounds like. Make your own decision. Come to your own conclusion. I think it's a really good mic. The thing is that what it comes down to with this stuff is like, where do you draw the line on what you want to pay money for? So the MV7. What's good about it is that it's XLR and USB. So you can do the USB, you can pay the high entry fee, have a really good sounding fucking mic, and yeah, they're good. And then later on, when you want to get an interface, you can get a cheap one, throw that bad boy in, and now you can do the interface, you can do an XLR, you can do a normal podcast. Where this, you are limited. You invest $100 and this is all you get. But is that bad? It really depends on what you want to do. If you're just streaming and you're always doing solo stuff or you occasionally have a guest on, then yeah, it's probably better to, if you're just streaming solo or you're doing a virtual podcast, I think this is fine. You're doing good. Or you do like all the stuff solo, you're never doing two people in one room, perfect. If you are ever going to do like a studio where it's two people in one room on like different mics, yeah, it's going to cause a problem because I think if you plug two of these in, it doesn't let you run two at the same time because it reads it as the same unit, whereas these are two different USB mics, so it's going to read them as two different USB mics. So keep that in mind. But $100 or $120 isn't that bad. Sure, you could get like a interface for like 50 or 60, a cheap one, XLR cable, and get like a cheap $50 or $80 handheld microphone and spend like around the same price, maybe a little bit more, and you have more upward momentum to you can do more things. But that's all up to you. And honestly, if you're just starting to stream, I would honestly invest in this over getting the full thing, because you still got to buy your boom arm and all that stuff. And this at least gives you a starting point. And then later on, if you do end up, getting better and you have a revenue stream where you can upgrade, you can then put this to the side and either give it to one of your friends or use it for side projects or stuff. Like I do stuff on my phone with it. There you go. Like it'll never take the place of my audio interface or the MV7 doing stuff on stream. But occasionally I don't fucking want to set all my shit up, but if I'm going to do like a quick little stupid stream. So there you go. I'm going to just plug this bad boy in, have it on the desk, and we're good. So I think it has a place. For each person, it all depends. But honestly, I think if you're just even a casual gamer and you want better audio quality, there you go. This is good. You can have the sound come out of here, all your stuff go through here. It's up to you. We're not really going to test the noise rejection because I just didn't test it, but I guess I could do it real quick and do the white noise like everyone else does. But I see this isn't a real review. There already are real reviews. This is just comparing these two microphones. Anyway, hopefully this helps make your decision. The reason I made this is because I bought into the Revelator off of the Personas videos, and they suck. Even though I still like Personas as a company, they lied to me. So I've not seen any videos about this outside of other reviewers, and I thought, sounds good. And then now that I have it, I wanted to compare, mostly for myself, but just to let people know if you've came across this channel, hey, these are your options, and this is what it sounds like. Anyway, have a good day or night, whatever. Just have fun, I guess.